yabba-dabba-day, yabba-dabba-day, yabba-dabba-do. Oh, yabba-dabba-dabba, yabba-day, yabba-dabba-day, yabba-dabba-do, yabba, yabba-do, yabba-kappa, yabba-do, rabati, shakatoy, yakatake-bekatoy, yakachi, takatoy, takatiki-chikitoy, tiki-tiki, takatuki, takatiki, takato. Hello. Welcome to Joe's Java Jive. I am your host, Jolly Joe Jester here. And today we're talking about the one and the only Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman is a song and dance man, a creator, a stand-up comedian who never told a joke a day in his life. And we are basically interviewing a steward of Andy Kaufman, the documentarian Alex Braverman. He's had an incredible career, and I'm so thankful that he has put his time and energy into this piece. Thank You Very Much is an incredible documentary. I got a chance to watch it. Thank you so much to Alex and his team, Caitlin, for sending it over to me. This changed my life, this documentary. Andy Kaufman's always been somebody who's been a hero of mine, somebody who I really love and respect. And his life-changing documentary is the best storytelling of Andy you've ever seen. It really does take you on a ride, and it's so much fun. It flies by. I can't stress enough that you should go check this film out. He's got interviews from everybody: Gary Shandling, Bob Zamuda, Andy's best friend, Steve Martin, Lorne Michaels. The list goes on, and really it captures Danny DeVito. So many of these stories of Andy that really paint a picture in your mind of who he was and what he was all about. I'm so thankful that I got to have this discussion because I'm trying my best to carry and keep beating the drum of Andy, keeping it going. Because in this friendly world, with each day so full of joy, why is everybody so lonely? You know, it's the world is such a wonderful place to wander through. So we're here together. It's our job to wander through it and keep it weird, keep it exciting, keep the spirit of Andy Kaufman alive and well, because he is someone who really represents going all out. And you know, he might have been a bit disturbed. He might have been a genius. But what he really was more than anything was a magician. Andy Kaufman totally changed my life when I first heard about him. Shout out to Scotty Boyle, who told me about him when he first came on TV on the Man on the Moon documentary one day. Not the documentary, the film by Milos Forman. Great place to start. But this film that Alex put together seems like it was really by Andy for Andy lovers, and it's just one of those films that deserves to be seen by everyone because Andy Kaufman changed the world. There would be no alternative comedy quite like it is today if not for Andy Kaufman. He loved to get the audience riled up, and he loved to make the world wonder if he's serious or not. Is this reality, or is this just one of Andy's little tricks? You have to see the film to see it. And I can't thank enough Alex Braverman for just discussing this with me. We're going to get right into the interview in just a little bit, but first I just want to check in. How you doing out there? Yeah, you're all right? You better be. You all right? You're all right. You got this. So thankful to be going to see some family this weekend, connecting and going back to my roots, being good Uncle Joe. You got Uncle Andy, and now you got Uncle Joe. I am so thrilled about where things are at when it comes to the comedy world, and people like Chris Fleming was just on, Mark Maron, you know, holding down the fort. He mentions Andy Kaufman early in the beginning of that. Yeah, you got guys like Softy, who is part of this film and also works with the great show The Rehearsal. And you have that energy going on now, so that's a whole new wave But me and my buddy Dagan, the Pagan, we have had him on the podcast quite a bit, and he's like New Paltz, Hudson Valley's very own Andy Kaufman. He's about 4 years before Andy, and we were both very deeply moved watching this and helping me get in the right mindset to do this interview. So when I first saw him, I thought, oh, I'm in the right place because there's a modern age Andy Kaufman here. And Dagan was born 4 years after Andy. And yeah, we watched this movie and realized how much we have to thank Andy Kaufman. I mean, it's why guys like Dagan and I can go up on the stage today and have kind of a category to put ourselves in. We also talked about how Andy, today he might get canceled. He might be too extreme that for this world, but the fact is that's part of it. He wanted you to be in awe and feeling like, oh, he's going too far. So Andy truly did change the whole way we view what comedy can be. And I do think that as you look at his life and you see what ended up happening when he went down the road of getting cancer, and he had a rare form of lung cancer that truly came out of nowhere. His body started crumbling, and I watched this film and I think to myself, man, maybe if he would have, still been with us today, he'd help us find the silliness in this world, because now it's almost like we have a Andy Kaufman in the White House saying whatever he wants, causing stress, being the heel. I mean, my God, they both have been on WWE, Andy and Donald Trump. But the truth is that Andy is more of a song and dance man than anything. His Elvis impression, who we didn't even get to really talk about in the interview, Latka, the story of how Latka and the voice that came to be is in the documentary, and I'm not going to spoil it, but you have to see that Andy was listening to the great beyond throughout his career and taking on whatever ideas came to him and putting them on full-fledged. And gosh, I'm just so thankful that he did it, because Andy died at a younger age in his 30s, but he really showed how discipline and putting yourself out there, being your own unique self, can truly change the world. So with Andy in mind and with all of that in mind, I want us to take a moment and have a deep breath before we get into the interview. This is my one way of honoring the transcendental meditation style and spirit of Andy Kaufman. And just to keep it interesting, I'm going to do a little sounds while we meditate. Starting now. I trusted you, 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 I trusted you. Yeah. I trusted you, 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 trusted you, I 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 trusted you. trusted you, I trusted you. All right, without further ado, let's take it away to my conversation with Alex Braverman, the director of Thank You Very Much, Andy Kaufman's very own documentary, The Story of My Hero, Andy Kaufman. Welcome to the podcast, Alex Braverman. It's so nice to have the creator of the new Andy Kaufman documentary, Thank You Very Much, here on Joe's Java Jive. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me, by the way.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being here. I'm great as well, and I'm so glad that we're getting a chance to communicate today about this film that you clearly put in a lot of effort in. Does it feel good to finally start to see the world see this movie and have some people's responses to it?
Yeah, it's a huge relief, to work on something for this many years without knowing where it's going to wind up, whether it'll ever see the light of day. It's a massive relief to be able to share it with audiences, but mainly just because I'm really passionate about the subject matter and, as you said, put a lot of work into it.
Absolutely. So you were close to Andy Kaufman. At what age do you remember hearing about him from the first time? I know your folks worked with him, right?
Yeah, I never met him, but my parents did, and he's just one of a handful of people that I was aware of growing up that they had worked with and thought was cool. Richard Lewis was another person they did some work with, and Tom Waits and Dolly Parton and people like that. But yeah, there was something as a kid very special to me about Andy. Obviously, looking back on it now, he's doing children's songs and things like that as part of his routine. They're kind of irresistible for a kid, but even some of the stories and lore that I would hear about him were very exciting to me at the time. The idea that he had a job as a busboy at the same time as being a TV star, that he took
Yeah.
the audience out for milk and cookies after the show at Carnegie Hall. Like, these are, for a kid, they're special ideas.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard about the milk and cookies. As a young kid, I'm so lucky that somebody told me. I think Man on the Moon came on TV, and I was like 8 or 9 years old, and they said, "This is Andy Kaufman. He had this Tony Clifton character, and he wrestled women, and he nobody knew if he was serious or not." And as somebody who I'm 28 years old, and I've always been into comedy and alternative comedy, from this day when I got to learn about Andy and see those same things that he took his audience out for milk and cookies, like that really transcends any performer you hear about in this world. He was in a complete world of his own, for sure. And you captured it, my friend. Bravo to you. This documentary goes straight from the very beginning. It's a perfect documentary to show someone who's never heard of Andy, or if they're a diehard fan like me, because you take them through this journey from the beginning. The climax, my film is going to have a lot of climax right in the beginning, and then another, and then another. And you create this real experience that feels like we're sitting in on one of Andy's tricks right now. It was a well done job, my friend.
Thank you. That's the intention, trying to not replicate, but share the feeling
Yeah.
that he might have created in his audiences at the time. That was the goal. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I did not feel like a prisoner in your presence. As you say, Andy often makes people feel, takes him prisoner. You don't know what he's going to do up there. You might read The Great Gatsby. He might wrestle a woman. He might make you feel really uncomfortable. But when we're watching this film and learning, you brought a lot of new things to light that someone who is a fan of him. And from that point on, for my life, I studied everything I could about this guy. You brought out the greatest hits and then so much material that I've never seen before. I know you put in a lot of work to find the footage and look over hundreds and hundreds of hours of material. How did you decide, and was there a lot on the cutting room floor? How did you decide what to show to kind of get this the way you have it? Because you put in a lot of work.
Yeah, thanks. Well, yeah, the editing process is it's a challenge, obviously, because there are so many clips and things that you come across, whether they're pieces of footage you're already familiar with or new pieces of footage, whatever the case may be, that you want to share with people and you want to show off or preserve, because also making a film like this, you're not just telling your story, you're also being one of the more likely places that people will see Kaufman footage in the future. So there's a pressure as to what you might include or not include. But at the end of the day, you're crafting a story that you're trying to tell, and a lot of that footage, whether it's amazing or perfect or not, just doesn't really fit into that story or can
Yeah.
feel like a detour. So I think there's a little bit of push and pull as far as like how is this footage driving the story or informing the story, or versus how much is it supporting the
Mm.
story. And so,
Yeah.
as you said, we went through like hundreds and hundreds of hours of material and wound up presenting something that's only 90 minutes, 99 minutes long. So there were some tough choices, but I guess people will just have to trust us that we picked the stuff that we thought
Whew.
was the best.
You sure
Um,
did. They're in for a treat. I mean, folks, when you see this film, you get to see Andy in a way you've never seen him before, from childhood to one of my favorite clips that really meant a lot to me was seeing him communicating with the meditation guru there and asking him questions. I mean, that's a moment that I almost, so much of your film pairs really well with Milos Forman's Man on the Moon. Like, you can see the version in your head if you study that, and then here's the real moment. And he had that whole room in stitches asking about comedy and asking about his role as being an odd character and how that contrast of being far out only serves to kind of show the other side of humanity. So Andy would sometimes take these extreme things on, but that moment that you captured, wow, how did you find that clip of him in the meditation room from so many years ago? And do you think that that moment really was something that changed the route of his life forever?
well, I'm glad you brought that up, and I think that you actually summarize and encapsulate and distill the meaning of it very well. Um, it's not a piece of footage that we knew existed when we started making the film. It's just kind of one of those lucky discoveries that you get to make along the way. But basically, I would just say at a certain point in the film where we had already assembled a rough cut and everything like that, I knew that we wanted to explore transcendental meditation as a theme in the movie because I didn't really fully have my own understanding of how it shaped and impacted him. I mean, I knew from Man on the Moon and other sources that it was super important to Andy, but I didn't know exactly how so. And anyway, so the point is that we traveled after looking at an initial cut of the movie, we decided we need to go deeper into this, and we traveled to Fairfield, Iowa, which is sort of the spiritual and geographical home of TM in the United States. And we met with people who lived there now, but had been there when Andy was there as well,
Wow.
including two people who you see in the film. One, Dennis Ramundi, who is his good friend. He's the guy who kind of compares him to a jazz musician. And then the other was a guy named Buzz, and I'm blanking on his last name, unfortunately, right now. But he's the guy who we filmed in that big library, the one who walks us through
Hmm.
that exchange. And
From the
basically,
David
after
Lynch
we
Foundation, right?
well, it's not.
And that,
It's not. That's Bob Roth.
yeah,
It's
he
not
was
that
great.
guy, but it's
Okay.
but another guy, the guy who tells us the story of Andy talking to Maharishi. He basically did
Yeah.
this great interview with him where he tells the story of this footage, and then as we were packing up our gear and leaving, he says, "You know, I think I actually have a recording of that
Wow.
conversation as well." And so it's one of those scenes where, as he's telling us the story, we're like, "How are we gonna communicate this in the film? It's such a good story." And then when he finally gave us the tape, it
Ooh.
was just like mind blowing. But yeah, the point that you make is true. It's basically he is drawing a connection between the places you go in meditation versus the places that you go in performance, and both of them are really about absolute attention. When you're meditating, you're silencing your mind to a place of absolute focus on your breath, and the interesting thing that happens is like all these ideas and feelings and sensations can come to you, or not. You could just find it relaxing. But I think the same is true for one of his performances where you're there and you're not able to, it's not possible to have a conversation with someone really in an Andy Kaufman performance. It's like whatever he's doing is also requiring your absolute attention. And I understand that's a bit of a stretch, it's a bit of a metaphor, but I do see a connection there where you're like,
Yeah. He slows
there's a
down to
focus.
such a
Yeah.
vibe that it's sort of incredible when you get onto his vibration. It's this thing of it's forcing the audience to meditate. You made that really clear in the film of the way people explain it, that you're getting a chance to kind of go into his world. And when Andy's taking you for a ride, you slow down and you're right. You're not looking to the other tables and talking. You're like immersed and almost in this moment of, is this real or not?
Yeah.
It
I'm
is
with you.
real. Thank God
With
it's
you.
real.
Yeah.
He's one of those characters that as he move forward, and he asked the Maharishi, like, when we become more enlightened as a society, are we going to have movies and things that are still sad, or are they all going to be happy, are they all going to be this? And he's so pure and young, and then he said, no, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do, it only helps serve as a reflection of of people's inwards. They go on their own journey. And I, looking at Andy today, and through the guise of your documentary, you really capture how far out he was going when he got into the wrestling, in terms of SNL saying, we're done here. And the culture as a whole kind of saying, Andy, can you please give it up already with this wrestling? And the things he was saying about women are so offensive, so far out. But Andy was ahead of his time because, like you say in the film, this is all part of his act. Like, how do you think Andy would handle today's cancel culture? And do you think he would be playing with that vibe still today of pushing it to the edge, being offensive?
I don't think that his goal was necessarily to be offensive. With wrestling or with anything. I think he
Yeah.
was aware that it was offensive and he enjoyed that and liked it. But I think his goal, and this is not my personal opinion, this is just me sort of
Yeah.
paraphrasing things that people that knew him told me. But his goal was to like get a reaction. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so, and that's the case with Latka or Elvis or switching between bombing versus crying versus playing music or wrestling or anything he did, Tony Clifton. It
Yeah.
was about going back to this idea of like demanding your absolute attention in any given moment and getting a real, genuine, human, emotional reaction out of you. And I think with the wrestling, for a lot of people, that reaction was to be offended, but I think it was also to be riveted. Anyone that is into wrestling and watches wrestling is expecting to hate one of the two people
Somebody's got
in
to be
the
the
in the
heel.
wrestling match. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
He
the
loved
fact
being
that
that.
he loved being the heel, and the fact that the way that he designed that heel character around like misogynist ideas and everything was quite interesting and ahead of his time. And I think, my read on it is that he's making fun of people that are misogynists. And but
Yeah.
I for someone that interprets it the other way and thinks that he felt that way, it's kind of like, oh,
You're
whatever you
falling.
want to take from it, that's
Yeah, you're
fine.
falling for this trap almost. You
Well,
know.
you're watching, you're loving the show. It means that the
Yeah.
show is working on you.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well, it's
mean? And
really
you're
worked.
getting a show. Yeah.
He changed wrestling forever, and I went to Memphis a couple years ago to Jerry Lawler's barbecue club there, and there's this huge wall image of Andy that they really loved each other, and I had to bring this guy over for our interview today. Check it out, the original Andy Kaufman action figure. Yeah, this thing it shows the impact he made on the wrestling world as being that Hollywood looking down on you. I'm gonna sue you for everything you want, and there's a great clip that I'm glad you didn't use of him teaching them how to use toilet paper, and this is soap.
Why
and
wouldn't you want us to use that?
I feel I'm surprised you didn't use it, because I feel like it's ultimately just showing how much he was trying to really offend and get into people's minds and be abrasive. Maybe you should have used it, but it's online and it's in the film as well. And you seem to really be a good sister piece to those things that already exist. I feel like you showed a lot of stuff that isn't around already, so it's great that way.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought, but I was going to comment on.
That clip.
Yeah, it's just that I don't know why we didn't. I think probably you just have to make tough choices, but I think he's again. I don't think he's making fun of people from the South as much as he's making fun of people who make fun of people from the South. But I could be wrong.
You're so onto it. There's something that is he brilliant or is he mentally ill? This question a lot of people ask when they're studying him over the years, and I know he struggled with you portray his childhood, which is in a lot of the books, very well, and the issue with Papu as being this breakthrough epiphany for me. I was like, okay, this explains so much of it, and the power of mortality, and how if that's kind of shielded from a kid, that was one of the ingredients when his papu died, and the parents did not really say, Andy, he's not coming back. That this kind of looked to you in the film as a thesis, and I don't want to spoil too much from the movie, but can you speak a bit about how that first interview with Zamuda happened? Because I know it was early in production, and why those breakthroughs meant so much to, oh, this is new information for so many people.
Yeah, well, like you say, without spoiling it too much, I'll just say that the way that his parents handled the death of his grandfather, it had a effect on him and the way that he viewed reality versus fantasy. And it's not a great, unique tragedy to lose a grandparent. I think if we're lucky enough to be born with them, it's an inevitability, and it's also not that unique or that wrong to want to
Yeah.
try to shield your kid from that. So I don't think that Andy's parents did anything wrong either, in how they handled that. But I do think that the way we react to commonplace, uh, I don't want to say traumas, but hardships,
Yeah.
that it can, you know. it shapes how we look at the world for the rest of our lives. And I'm not drawing this connection for Andy. I'm simply the conduit for others who are, whether that's Bob or Andy himself, kind of explains this
Yeah,
story in a clip, as well as his dad
on
does.
a
His
talk
dad does
show.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think it's just interesting that that like we're all kind of made up by and affected by these very relatable hardships and experiences, and the way that we react to them is what makes us who we are.
that's very true. I speak to myself. I lost my mom in 2020, and it was a huge factor. She was a very, very spiritual person. And I remember, and watching your thing reminded me because I was a young boy and showing my mom, Andy, as I was going down the rabbit hole. And I'll never forget her laughing at the I Trusted You song on YouTube. I trusted you. I trusted you. 3 minutes of Andy on this one phrase. And she's like, what is this? And I would tell my mom, I'm going to be a stand up one day. I'm going to do this kind of stuff. I'm inspired. And when she passed, I started doing free improv workshops for the community right in the middle of COVID with my group Happenstancery. And I feel almost as she's in the front row seat from the great beyond, and exactly to your point, that loss and that trauma and losing her early in her life, in her 60s, it was something that has formed me. And I think really, if you can take that loss and those feelings and then channel it into your art for the world, it's quite an amazing thing that happens. I think it's really a powerful connection. So I'm glad that you have related to that, and showing this film, it really gets into so much of what the crux of this is rejection and embarrassment, and this feeling of, it's a friendly world, but I'm going to get up there and be extremely vulnerable. And if you like it or not, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm taking you for a ride. And man, Andy, to me and other alternative comics before us, he's like, Andy died on the cross for all of us to be able to be as weird as we possibly can out there. So that's what me and my friend, who's also an alternative comic, have been saying about this, and that he really created and paved the way for the rest of the comics after him to be odd and to be weird and to just occupy space. And thank you for capturing that on the record for years to come, because his wake, and Andy from the great beyond, I have a real feeling that his presence is still with us to this day, more than any other figure who I've kind of studied. I think all of his time on the transcendental plane, I feel it coming through. And I was curious if you felt that putting this together, and those moments where you find the clip and there's treasures and there's serendipity. Does it feel like you've got a champion from the great beyond and Andy here?
Uh, I'll be honest with you and just say no, but maybe it's because I'm not the kind of person that is open to things like that or senses them or sensitive to them. But I will say that
Yeah.
he is a guide and provides a roadmap for how we can understand our current world and our cultural landscape. And in that sense, he's with us for me, in
Yeah.
that he's the one for me, and one of many, or one of others for some, who kind of helps awaken you to this idea that you have to be skeptical or conscious of, asking questions of what's going on around me. Should I trust the story we're being told? Do I trust the version of this person that's being presented to me? So in
Mm.
that sense, he's made an indelible mark on the culture. But I didn't go full Jim Carrey
Yeah.
on this, and I didn't feel him channeling anything through me. I will say that, like, do I did learn to do TM
Yeah.
while in the editing process of the film, partly out of a desire to understand what he was experiencing, and also partly from a desire to try to, I wanted to be able to tell that part of the story with sensitivity and care, and felt that I needed to like know a little bit more about it to do that. And I didn't feel that I was channeling Andy in that at all, but I did feel like I got to go to a place similar to where he went,
Mm-hmm.
um, as part of his meditation practice, and that was really cool.
That's beautiful that he was able to give that gift to you just by and to so many by being a voice of it. And I think
Hmm.
it's pretty amazing that someone who's got so much energy and is always ready to pull something out from his hat you didn't expect. He would, had it in his contract. I need an hour of meditation before every show. I need it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's part of what makes him run and what makes him so unique. And yeah, the silence in him. There was one frame of him sitting kind of on the audience's the little ledge there and just kind of quiet. And I had never seen that before. Was that from the Uncle Andy's Funhouse? When
I
he's
want to
taking them
say
prisoner.
it's a PBS special, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but it has a very specific name. Um, I'll have to. I could look it up real quick, or I could follow it up with you. But it has a.
Yeah. It was
I
some kind of
can't
a
remember.
PBS public
Let me look it
access.
up.
Yeah, you
I'll
look
be
it up
quick.
while
If I don't,
I'll describe it.
yeah.
Yeah. He's sitting there and it's really at this part of the documentary where it's talking about how he's holding the
It's called
audience
Soundstage.
soundstage. Okay,
PBS's Soundstage is the name of the series that he was on, I think.
yeah, and he just occupies the space so well, and it's just one of those stunning moments of the film, and that I've never seen before, and was really moving to see these clips, and he's just going deep in the silence and occupying this space, and that's I think Steve Martin put it so well. He's even funny when he's waiting. In talking about
Totally.
Man on the Moon. The Mighty Mouse, he did come and save the day, man, and I can't thank you enough for putting this piece together because Andy is such a gift to the world. He has a powerful voice and story. I was going to ask you about his childhood. So this time period to me that's interesting, and it kind of brushes over. Like the Bob Zamuda puts it out that he was homeless for like a year, and he lists all the different drugs he was on, and kind of how he had this mind exploding thing. And I've read about it in the books that Andy Kaufman living on a bench, and what do you think that kind of transformation was going on in that stage of his life in between, Great Neck and becoming a comedian, where he really kind of went off the deep end a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I Bob says it was a year that he was living in a park and under a park bench or whatever. I included that in the film. I don't know how true that is. Like, I know that he slept in parks and did a lot of drugs and whatever, but who knows
Yeah, it's
the
kind of part of the
absolute
folklore.
true. Exactly, exactly. And it's fun to include things like that in a film like this, where, if you were making a film about, I don't know,
A
the
mythological
Civil
creature.
War, or something more verifiable, you would need to like check your facts a little bit more. But anyway,
Not in
the
this.
not here. But the point is, I guess, that he clearly was struggling with growing up, adolescence, being a teen, feeling disconnected from society, his family, experimenting with drugs, and it happens to a lot of people. And the important thing for him is that at the right moment, he was able to sort of channel it in a different direction.
Yeah.
That includes stopping the drugs, beginning meditation, going to college, getting into performing and producing television, things like that. And so
Yeah, I
I
never
just
had
see it as
heard
all
that.
part of that path. Yeah.
I never heard him say before so clearly that I stopped smoking weed and stopped doing drugs, and that's when I decided I'm going to take myself seriously. That really impacted me hearing that, and I think that is something to take note of, is that he, for the most part, got sober and got his stuff together as long as he wasn't being Tony Clifton. Then his whole diet changed and his drug use increased. But I found that discipline from him very refreshing and inspiring as a comedian to hear, okay, he really did put in the work. He went to the clubs. He got, connected to George Shapiro, and the rest is history. And I think there's something really admirable about his discipline and pride in being his weird, unique self. It's so exciting to see this like resurgence with your film, and to see him presented in the 50th anniversary of SNL. It feels like he's really getting the love he so deserves, and I'm just so thankful for you and that you were able to get this made. Who were some of the people? I know the executive producers and the Safdie brothers. How did they come in to show this love for the film? And anything you'd like to say to them as we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, visiting Bob and Lynn and putting them on camera was the first thing that I did in making this film.
Yeah.
And that was in 2017. May of 2017 is when those interviews are from. Yeah, I did those interviews with Bob and Lynn, and then sort of cut them together into a teaser, sort of 20-minute presentation tape. And I knew that Josh Safdie was a Kaufman fan. At the time, he was on Instagram. He's not anymore. And he would just, I was a fan of his, and the films that he made with his brother and friends of his and stuff. I had seen Daddy Longlegs. I had seen Heaven Knows What. They hadn't made Good Time yet, but or maybe they had just made Good Time, or they were making it, whatever. But I knew he was a fan because he would just post pictures of Andy or videos of Andy and things like that. And I managed to get a hold of his email address, and I sent him a note saying who I was, and that I was making a film about Andy, and I knew he was a fan, and did he want to see some material? And he very, very quickly, like less than an hour, responded and was like, "Hey, this is such a great email to get. Thanks for reaching out. Like, obviously love Andy Kaufman. I'd love to see what you're working on." Like, and so from that moment on, we've had a communication about this, and he was very supportive, and his company Alara signed on as producers. We went out and we tried to pitch it to a lot of places, and there just wasn't an appetite for it at the time. And then Jim and Andy came out, and people were like, "Hasn't this been done before?" And it took a long time. And then ultimately, I met with the partners at Wavelength, which is a production company and financier, specifically two people named Joe Plummer and Jen Westfall, and they got behind the project and were very supportive. And they had a relationship with Morgan Neville, great documentary filmmaker who's made 20 Feet from Stardom and Roadrunner, the Bourdain film, and the latest Steve Martin documentary series. And he became a producer as well. And I made the film at his office. Um, and so, yeah, I'm just incredibly fortunate to have Joe, Jen, Morgan, Josh, Benny, Ronnie, and Alara as people to support me in the vision of the film and then the construction of it. And they were super helpful and supportive and creative throughout the editing process. And now that we're finally releasing the movie and getting it out, they're blasting it away to all their friends and fans and channels and supporters. And I just feel very lucky.
Absolutely. What a
And
great
and I
group
should
of people.
mention also Draft House
Yes.
Films, that's the theatrical and digital distributor, and without them, no one would be seeing it all. No one would be seeing the film at all. It's played some festivals and everything, but they're really putting their full might behind getting it out. I think we're opening in, I want to say, 20 cities this week, and on like 50 screens across the country. And for a documentary, That's pretty unheard of and crazy at the moment. Obviously, it happens, but it's not a usual
For sure.
treatment. You know what I mean? It's
You're
a very lucky experience to be able to show a documentary in theaters and be able to get it out on digital for
absolutely.
rent at the same time. So I'm just like incredibly grateful to them. It's very life changing.
I'm so happy for you, Alex, and you know this character Andy messing with reality for all of us created a world where this kind of stuff continues to happen, and you know really the surprise keeps going, and like you say in the film, it's this endless ripple, which I think he said to Lynn, my life's goal, keep my work going, keep beating this drum, keep the spirit of Andy alive. And my friend, you are doing just that. And I am so happy to boost this signal and tell folks to check out the documentary so you can please see this, because Andy never told a joke in his life. He's not a comedian. He's much more than that. He's a song and dance man and really a magician. So this is a more than a documentary. It really feels like a masterpiece of him and
Uh,
all of Andy's world. I'm telling you, man, you
uh,
knocked it out of the park, Alex.
Thank you. Well, you ripple it out further.
I
Let's
will.
let's
I'm
keep it
I'm
going.
carrying it. Taking the torch
Okay.
and carrying it on. Thank you so much for being here, Alex. Folks, go check out the film. Thank you very much. Everywhere you can find it, and we will keep this show on the road. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm not going to do the voice, but you're great at it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye bye. Well, there you have it, folks. The amazing Alex Braverman. Oh, that was such a great conversation. I want to thank him so much for meeting with me today and capturing a little bit of the history of what this is all about. He is such a nice guy, and it was great to spend a little bit of time with him. He's very busy doing press right now for the film. You can see, thank you very much, at a theater near you. So take a look and go see where you can see the film. And go study Andy Kaufman, yo. And stay in tune with Joe's Java Jive, Jolly Joe Jester, because I'm just getting started. This is my Andy Kaufman era starting now. So I can't thank you enough. Please support Alex and the onslaught of amazing events coming out with Andy Kaufman. And maybe we can get some kind of an Andy Kaufman yearly party going. I would love to be one of the featured acts at that. I think we could really get a lot of people who love Kaufman together to discuss and go down the rabbit hole together. So if that's interesting to you and it's something you want to pursue, please reach out to me at jollyjoejester@gmail.com and let's make something happen, because too often we take this world too seriously and we get caught up in all of the BS. It's time to just get silly, get weird, and help people come on a little break. That's right, a little escape from the day to day. If you like this podcast, check out our earlier episodes with Dagan the Pagan, with Ed Smythe. There's a lot of local people in the Hudson Valley who are carrying Andy's legacy on with our daily life. It's just what we're all about. And he would have loved to see my comedy, your comedy, and everybody's weird selves come out and show off what you got. Here is a little taste of what my comedy is all about to close us out. Here's a little taste of Jolly Joe Jester doing his best Andy Kaufman impression. Peace and love.
All right, you're never gonna believe who the next act is tonight. Any guesses? Any guesses? Come on.
Ray Romano,
Close.
Lady Gaga.
Ah, now we're talking. It's actually Jolly Joe Jester himself tonight in person. Let's give it up for Jolly Joe in person.
Oh my goodness!
I'm feeling good tonight, and I'm Jolly Joe Jester. Yes, I love Snugs. I love you all so much. My God, you guys are like my favorite people in the whole world. Do you know that, Ed Smythe? Do you know you're one of my favorite people? I love you. And you behind the bar, you're the greatest bartender ever. Summer, we love you. summertime, where the living's easy. Fish are jumping mighty high. What's the next one? Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. Oh, hush, don't be a little bitch, 'cause we're having a good time tonight. Oh, yeah. Snug it. You like my voice? You like it?
Yeah.
I like doing vocal stuff, showing off my range. I go all the way from Tiny Tim. Tiptoe through the window, by the window. That is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh. Yeah. Tiny Tim, Jolly Joe, big inspiration. But I also go down, way down. Way down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Who's got the deepest voice? I hear somebody rumbling back there like a freaking didgeridoo.
Yeah, brother.
Oh my God, you gotta sign up and didgeridoo that up here. Please. I love that didgeridoo sound. It brings me right back into like my inner caveman. Ooh, yeah. I feel it. You guys know I go way back. I'm an old soul, okay? I was a fucking dinosaur. I was a dinosaur. I did the past life regression. And I felt it. I felt my arms shrink up. I was like Barney. I kind of looked like Barney a little bit, but like blue. And I feel that my goal in life is to bring the people back to the dinosaur days, when it was all peaceful and we could fucking crush with our feet the jungle. But we don't know what it was like in dinosaur times. We look at the statues in the museums and we go up, we think we know these animals. We don't know them. We don't know. They might have had book clubs or dinner parties or dinosaur techno. Oh yeah, I like your tail, Tyrannosaurus tiger. Yeah, I like your short arms. I like the fact that we are probably gonna die from a giant asteroid soon. So let's live like we're freaking dinosaurs and it's 2024 BC, am I right? Yeah, it's go time, people. This isn't the dress rehearsal. This is your freaking life right now, okay? There's nobody saying, hold on, stay in the wings, because it's gonna start soon. As Pink Floyd would say, you missed the starting gun, okay? It's time. Oh, changing our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me and us. We are the world. We are the world. We are the children. We are the children. We are the ones who make a better day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We gotta have the Bob Dylan part. We're making our own life. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. And when you're down and out, and you need no of it all. And if you just believe, there's no way you can fall. Cindy Lauper. Well, I realize that it's can only come. And we all must have a heavy hand. You're back, we are the world. You are all the world. You are my children. Yes, that's right. If you took a DNA test, you'd see that I'm your dad. Hi, son. We are the world. We are the children. We are the children. We are the ones who make a better day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're changing our own lives. Oh, it's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. We are the world, people. That's what I'm trying to tell you, okay? I'm trying to connect more with my inner self. And you know, have you gotten to know yourself on a cellular level yet? I'm asking, have you introduced yourself to each individual cell in your body? No. Well, let's get acquainted with it right now. It starts right now. Here we go, folks. I am going to go deep inside. And I've recently realized each one of my crazy hairs is got a life of its own. Do you believe that? I mean, a lot of long hair guys here. If I touch one piece of hair, not a clump, but if I grab one and I think about it really lightly, let's see. Okay, I got one. Okay, this one's been with me for a while. This one's Mexican. This one is. Yeah. This one is. This one Islamic. This is a Jewish hair. I feel that. This whole area is Jewish. I love it. I love it. My fiance loves this part. She's Jewish. This part is a trans Lebanese immigrant. This part is a Chinese Buddhist from Zen. And this one really wants me to chill the fuck out and take a breath. And this one, this is my Italian clump. Opa! This is the Greek. But over here is where it gets a little, this bad side of the Italian. This is where my fucking Joseph Anthony Davis comes out, and they call me Joe Tony Davis. You got a fucking problem, people? Are you here to laugh, or are you here to have a good time, huh? Are you here to have an orgasmic evening, or are you here to say this is the greatest night of your life, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Let me ask you one more very important question. Is this the life you dreamt it was?
Yeah.
Or are we going to create the reality that we want to create, huh?
Both.
You create your own reality, people, and each of you tonight chose to be here, snug in my arms, and I'm sending you out a big Jolly Joe snuggly hug and a little scratch on your head, and it's okay. Not a noogie. Noogies are too far. Wet willies, get the fuck out of here, Wet Willie. Don't you ever do that to me, Will. You have it in the name. Whoever licks their pinky and sticks it in your ear, that is, we've had too much of that in this culture. How about a gentle love? Or an even better, a sigh of relief. Can we all let out a nice sigh of relief? Again, if you missed the first one, sigh of relief. It's all gonna be okay. We're here in Snugs, and when I'm always up here, I just want to tell the crowd that you guys are the coolest freaking people in the world. We're here, and we're in a little bubble of love that they call New. You feel that? You feel the new pulse in the air, people? I feel so good. I knew that I would. So good. So good. I got you. Somebody stop me. I'm going to go one more thing. One more thing I wanted to tell you guys is that as I've connected with all my hairs, I mentioned I'm one with the universe. I've got all of the genres. I'm a mutt of every race you could ever imagine and every religion. It's all here. So if you hate any of those religions, you hate Jolly Joe. And that's not cool. because I love all of you guys, and really, we're all in a magical Zen garden. Do you guys know what a Zen garden is? Does anybody? What is it? What is like a little toy? It's like, my mom, I remember, got my dad a Zen garden once when I was a kid for his office. My dad was the working man. And my mom said, here's a little Zen garden. It'll just be sit on your desk and you'll rake it and you'll make little lines in it. And my dad said, I'm never gonna use this shit. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna use it. I'm not gonna use it. Give it to somebody else. Get rid of it. You know what? I've been making Zen gardens ever since. And I'm telling you, if you haven't gotten knee deep in the mud in your own backyard, what the hell are you doing already? Get out there in your bare feet and grab a stick and start making trails for the water to go through. You feel like a new region of life comes within. The water flows through you, a river. You are a river. You are a giver. And you, sir, you're a nose picker. I know it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Who here picks their nose, huh? Everybody? I know Tiger Boy. He's put that finger up proud.
Kleenex doesn't always work.
Kleenex doesn't, and neither does toilet paper. Call Tiger Boy if you need a wiping. Yeah, guys, I love throwing these freaking events. It's so much fun. As you can tell, Jolly Joe, he speaks from the heart, and he really has a message for you all. And it's to kind of look out into your neighbor, maybe somebody you don't know, make eye contact, and give them a little symbol of love. Here's the symbol. A little head nod. Yeah, see that? Give somebody a head nod that you don't really know too well. Yeah, that's the basic sign of approval, right? So now, we're gonna double it up. You're gonna go around and I'm gonna send a head nod through the room and sing a little song to close it out. You ready? Here we go, I'm sending it to Ed. So it's gonna be an Ed nod and it's going to move around. I wanna watch it like the wave. Here we go. Head nod, don't make it bad. Take a head nod and send it to your neighbor. Then remember to pass it along with your head. And then you can not be dead. And we'll all feel alive together. All right, pass it down the bar. Head nod, 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 head nod. Look up to the front, the guy in the hat. Head nod. Pass it to Tiger Boy. Keep it going. We said head. Sing it with me. Head, head, head nod, 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 nod. Head nod, head nod, noddy, 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 head. Head, head nod. Head nod in the pool players. Head nod. Head nod. I'm head nod in the dark sky. Head. Bullseye's coming up right now. Throw that bullseye. Head nod. Head nod. Head nodding all the Native Americans whose land we stole. Head. Head, head, head nod. And all of the future children. Head nod. Head nod. And everybody who's performed tonight. Head, 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 head nod. Head nod. Head nod. Thank you, and I'm gonna send a head nod to my co-host, Dagan the Pagan. Get on up here. Thank you all. I'm Jolly Joe Jester. We're gonna keep the show pushing forward. Jolly Joe. Let's hear it for Jolly Joe. How does he do it? How does Jolly Joe do it? We're to that part of the night where I just want to say thank you again to each and every one of you so much for coming. Also, we're not going to end this with a big, loud applause because there is some tenants under the floor. Yeah. Okay? So I wanted to teach you guys a famous thing that started with the beatnik poetry doing stuff like this. First of all, give yourselves a little snap of applause. And if you can hear me downstairs, we hope you enjoyed the live entertainment. We're sorry we went 10 minutes over, but we had fun, and we love you, and we're going to give you a big, quiet snap of applause, and have a great rest of your fucking lives. I love you all. Thank you, Jolly Joe. Thank you, guys. Everybody get home safe. All right, one more.